Hello Steelers, and welcome to another Bench Report hobby update. This is the first one in a couple of weeks because I was extremely busy last Sunday dropping my wife back at the airport over in Manchester, so pretty much all the day was taken up getting over there and back, and I just didn't get a chance to do any updates for you. And also, to be honest, it's actually been a pretty quiet couple of weeks anyway for the stuff that I've had in the post, and also what I've painted. I've done bits and pieces. Because again, me and my wife have been busy doing various things with the house and stuff, and just moving things about and what have you. But that said, let me just say first of all, before we dive into all of this, about half the people that do watch these videos aren't subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and you will see any of my latest updates. I just relatively recently hit 9,000 subscribers, so I'm on the downward slope towards 10,000 now, which I'd really like to hit in the next couple of months if that's possible. So please do hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and you'll get all the latest Storm of Steel videos as they come out, or at least on your YouTube feed. Otherwise you will only be recommended older ones. Anyway, there you go, there's a call to action out of the way. Just to say, yes, painting wise, we jump back to that, that's what we're here for. I actually finished off a British platoon for Through the Mud and the Blood. These are only 15mm, these are Peter Pig figures. It's a late war one, so it's made up of the 4 sections of rifles, bombers, grenadiers, rifle grenadiers, and also the Lewis team. This is my second platoon for Through the Mud and the Blood, or I could use it in Chain of Command, First World War version as well, cocking up the mud and the blood. So I was thinking potentially, because I've got a few extra bits and pieces of Lewis guns and grenadiers and bombers and things, what I might do is even, I only need about 24mm figures, and just made a third platoon so I can have some really big games of Through the Mud and the Blood, because that's what I'm aiming to do over the next year, because over on Twitter we started the Great Wargame 23 hashtag, where we're going to be trying to put in First World War Wargaming on the map, and I'm going to be definitely part of that. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do next year, I think. That's where my focus will be, at least for 2023. Just for no other reason than not many people do it, and I don't know if you noticed, but I have been putting out a couple of reviews. I'll talk about a little bit more about that in a second. But also, as well, on top of the platoon, I finished off the supports, as I just mentioned, the extra bits and pieces, and also some big men as well. These are mounted on penny bases, so you can tell them quite easily on the tabletop from the normal other ranks. So I've kind of been working with those, and as I say, that's kind of led me to think about, should I do a third platoon as well, just to bulk up the numbers. Also, as part of this, I made some German Mebus, which are pillboxes, for those who don't know. Mebu stands for something in German, I can't remember the name of it, or I wouldn't even pretend to announce it anyway, but it's pronounce it, but it's basically a German armoured pillbox, concrete pillboxes. These ones, I did 3 of them. They're made out of plastic card, dead easy to make, and I based them on the ones that are at Tynecott Cemetery, and also at the German Langemark Cemetery as well. There's a couple of them remaining in the ground there. They were used in 1917 in the Hindenburg line, so they'll be used for First World War Wargaming. Also, I completed a small ruined cottage as well. This is some of my old square bashing scenery that I decided to go back to. I'm going to talk about that again in a little bit more. And well, I can show you that here. I started working on some of my old square bashing cottages that I did. They were originally mounted on 6x12-inch pieces, but I've cut them up because the original bases were all warped. I used really thin plastic card. These ones in this case, I've gone back and I've actually mounted them on smaller individual plastic card bases, and I'm just working my way through these. I really should have got these finished by now because they're dead easy to do. I just haven't had time to do it, that's all. But this week I'm hoping to get these done. I've got these 3, and there's another 3 down there, so there's 6. And the walls have come from Ironclad Miniatures, and I have ordered a few more in as well, because I want to make some more of these to make some larger villager areas and building areas, just specifically for First World War. Dead easy to do, really. I may, when the other ones come in, I might actually do a tutorial on making them as well. I did one on my old blog, but I might do a video about it as well when I get the new bits and pieces from Ironclad. So yeah, that's those are we're working on. I'm also, as I say, First World War, knee deep in First World War at the moment, because I am also painting up a German platoon, which is currently on the table. 15mm Peter Pig figures again. This will be the second German platoon. I decided I just wanted to sort everything out, so that's why I did the British one and also the German one as well. So that gives me 2 of each. And same with the Germans. I may even take this to a 3rd platoon as well, just to add to it, and add a few extra big men as well. I just want to get a second one finished off to give me a few more options on the tabletop, because I've been playing Through the Mud and Blood quite a bit lately, and it's such a good game that I'm revisiting. I'm just going to jazz up a couple of the rules, like the morale. I'm going to make a morale table for it, a bad things happen table for it, but basically snatch it straight out of Chain of Command or Sharp Practice and have a force morale in there, so you don't have an ever rolling game. So that's really where I am with the painting and with the work at the moment. As I say, we're hoping to get these Germans done by the end of this week. I'll do a paint and chat on Tuesday, and I'll probably be painting some of these then. There's not a great deal left to do on them. It's just really block colouring and the bits and pieces here and there. But as I say, they've kind of just been on the back burner for now, along with these cottages. They'll get done. They will get done. The other thing in the post, the last couple of weeks, I got this, which is Play the Game. This was produced by the Two Fat Lardies, again, First World War stuff, and this is actually a PDF which you can get over on the Two Fat Lardies website. It is now currently going for £10. I got mine printed at Docs Direct. It cost a bit of money, but I thought I wanted it in hard copy so I can use it on the tabletop. It's got a lot of stuff for If the Lord Should Spare Us, but it's also got a lot of stuff for the Through the Mud and the Blood, and it's also got the cocking up the Chain of Command First World War version in there, cocking up Through the Mud and the Blood it's called. But all of this stuff is in the Lardy Specials. However, buying it as one PDF for 10 quid is a hell of a lot cheaper than finding all the individual articles and buying them. Even, you know, if you just bought 2 of the specials, it would cost you more than just this on its own. So this is well worth getting if you're looking at doing some First World War wargaming, even if you're just going to use it as scenarios, or if you're going to use it as you know, just a guide. And there's plenty of good history in here. And however, I have also done a review on this, and I was going to get this review out this week, but it didn't happen. Oh well, last week it didn't happen for various reasons I'll go into in a second. But so expect that at some point soon. It's going to be a bonus video, so that will come out very soon, because a few people have asked me about it. So keep your eye out for that. And there's going to be more detail in that for than I've just given you there. But it's well worth buying. One more thing to mention is I did a review recently of Through the Mud and the Blood. I didn't actually realise at the time it has gone to PDF just a few months ago. So you can get copies of it from various third-party sellers. I think a friend of mine, Kev, over at the club, he picked up a hard copy from somewhere else, but you can't get hard copies of Through the Mud and the Blood through Two Fat Lardies anymore. Richard was going to send me out a little special surprise, but it hasn't arrived yet, so I don't know if he's forgotten. If you're watching this, Richard, there's a nudge for you. Besides that, just to let you know that they are only PDF at the moment, or probably will be for the foreseeable future, unless you can pick it up somewhere else, like at Caliver Books or somewhere like that. They might have copies of it kicking about, but well worth getting anyway. So check out that review as well. The other thing that I got, First World War stuff again in the post. This is a 15mm anti-aircraft truck, German truck. This came from Irregular Miniatures. I'd asked around on Twitter and somebody had mentioned it. Unfortunately, there's no photograph of it on their site, so I went in blind, but it is actually a truck with the anti-aircraft gun. I wanted it for one of the scenarios specifically in the Stout Hearts and Iron Troopers book of Through the Mud and the Blood, but it will also be useful as well for other things. My only problem with it is I think it's 20mm. I can't really tell. It's just slightly. It's either on the big side of 15mm, or it is actually 20mm. I don't think it's going to be a massive problem on the tabletop because these things are quite big trucks anyway, and I'm going to crew it with some other crew that are hopefully going to be coming through soon from QRF. So I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue, but it's just a point. I did approach Paul over at Sabotage to see if he'd be able to design one for me, but fair enough to him, he said I'd be the only person in the world that would ever want one, and it'd take him such a long time that it'd cost me a massive amount of money. If anybody is out there who is good at designing First World War trucks with anti-aircraft guns on and who wants to print one for me, there you go, there's an appeal. Send me the AA gun. But the reason I didn't do the review recently of Play the Game is because this game in the post, never mind the Bill Hooks deluxe version. This came through. Dan over at Wargames Illustrated sent me a copy of this, and this is meant to be released tomorrow on the 21st of November, although I've noticed that quite a few people are starting to get their copies already, the pre-orders, so they are starting to turn up already. Unfortunately, I missed the original email by a couple of days, so it took a little while for this to come through, so my review was a little bit later than I was hoping for, but I did get it out yesterday and check that out. So it's been a bumper weekend for videos this weekend with the O Group battle report and then the Bill Hooks review preview that I did. I didn't go into a massive depth in the rules because I've only read through them really, but it was kind of like here's a look at the book, and you know, if I was looking at getting into medieval wargaming, what would I expect from this book and what would I want from it? And it's very nice actually, really nice set of rules I think, and should be. I'm going to try it out at some point, but it should be a good fun I think, definitely. Also, yesterday was Steel Lard over in Sheffield, expertly put together by Richard Crawley, so massive thank you to Richard for putting it on. Massive thank you to Patriot Games for hosting it as well. An entire afternoon day of lardy goodness, as always with Lardy Days. If you can get onto one of them, do so. I think they are in the process of putting together a Lardy Day calendar for next year, so hopefully that will be publicised when that's all been put together and will be out at some point later on, so you can see and check what is going on with Lardy Days. And I do thoroughly recommend getting involved with them. Playing games with people who know how to play the games is one of the great things, and just having fun and enjoying it. In yesterday's, I played 2 games, or I hosted 2 games of Algernon Pulls It Off. I do apologise, I can't remember everybody's name who got involved, and I didn't even get everybody's name who was involved, but we had 4 players in the first game, 6 players in the second game, and both games were really good for very different reasons, and it was good crack, lots of chaos, exactly how Algae should be, and I think they seemed to go away happy and having fun and laughing, and that was the number one, the back end of it. That's the main thing to do, isn't it? That's what you want really out of a game. So that was good fun. And then also later on today, Mark and Dean are going to come over. We're going to play Through the Mud and the Blood, as I mentioned it a couple of times already today. And this is, we're refighting the Battle of Bullecourt, 1917, one of the sites that I've actually excavated on, and the actions of Tank 796 in particular. This is also going to be my Christmas game. Whether we record this one today with the 2 guys, I don't know. I haven't asked them, I haven't approached them about it, but this is going to be a bit of a tester for whether the game works or not. And then I'm going to re-record it probably next weekend, and I will then put that out as the Christmas game later on this year, because that's now become a bit of a 3 years running, I suppose, is what it's. That's a ritual, isn't it? Oh, not a ritual. What do you call it? A tradition, Christmas tradition. The Storm and Steel Wargaming Christmas game. So so I'm going to play that later on today with the guys. Also, just a couple other things to make you aware of. You can see me wearing it. I made after Andy, Friends of General Haig, mentioned that he was surprised I didn't do an SS143 t-shirt, my favourite training pamphlet for the First World War. I did. So this is one of them. They're available on Redbubble. There's also another one that has got the platoon
in its artillery march as well. So I'll put links to those in the description down below. Go and check those out. And if you do buy them, just to let you know, I get a couple of quid for every one that sells, and a good bit of First World War fun as far as I'm concerned. Also, as well, just to make you aware, I think on Wednesday ends, I'm selling a load of military history books. I think there's 212 in total. I can't split them up because it would just take too much time, and I'm just trying to have a clear out. It's stuff that I've either read, I'm never going to read, or is pretty outdated, in my opinion. Not all of it. Absolutely not all of it. A lot of it is really, really, really good stuff. It's just stuff that I've read and is good. But it's a big mix. There's wargaming, there's archaeology, there's also some military history, mostly First World War military history, and bits of Second World War tank books and stuff. Yes, a lot of it is, that's it. It's not outdated. It's more that I've got, several books telling me the same information. So I've just pared it down to the ones that I need. When things are only telling you the same weights of tanks, you don't really need that many of them, do you? Also, I'm selling some Airfix as well, Airfix books, which are the tank guides to the Second World War. These are all classic books. I just had the collection of them, British, American, German and Russian. I'm selling those. Again, I shall put links for all of this stuff down in the description down below, so go and check those out. The 200 books, I'm afraid I can't post them. It will be collection only, just because there's just too many of them. It would cost way too much. If somebody wants to negotiate a payment for shipping them to wherever, then I'm happy to do that, and I will just do that at cost. But that would be something we'd have to do separately outside of the sale itself. But yes, it's currently just pick up only. All right, and on the back of that, then I shall wind up there. Like I say, busy week ahead of me with painting these Germans and doing other bits and pieces, but that's where I'm at the moment, and I shall wrap up. Just say check out the Facebook page for Storm of Steel, and also check out the Facebook group as well. We are very close to 500 members over there, so please jump over, join it. I shall let you in when I see that you are knocking on the door. So, and one more thing to say is just, again, please do like and subscribe the video, and I shall see you in the next Storm of Steel video.